Stone fruits are in season, and today I'm going to show you that they don't just have to be for dessert with an amazing dish of grilled scallops and nectarines. I'm Chef Jeff, and you're watching Publix Aprons Cooking School online. So the first thing we're going to get started on is our dressing. Now to do that, we're going to zest a lime, and while you're doing this with your microplane, you want to make sure that you're not going over the same spots too much. So I'm going to give the lime a little bit of a turn with each stroke, because if you end up going over the same spot a lot, you're going to get some of the white pith of the lime, and that's going to get real bitter on you. So once we get this whole lime zested into the bowl, we're going to go ahead and add the juice. Now, we want to get as much juice as possible out of this. And so what I like to do is put it on my board. Let's get the rest of that zest out. Put a little pressure and give it a nice roll. Just cut this guy in half. And with our juicer, flat side down. Fantastic. All right. Now we'll move into our seasoning. We've got some smoked paprika, champagne vinegar, and that's going to be the acid for our dressing, some salt, and a little fresh ground pepper. And then to bring it all together, about a half cup of yogurt. Now, let's mix this up. It's going to be tempting to mix it really fast because the yogurt does take a moment to break down, but you don't want to do that. You're going to end up with dressing everywhere. It's coming together nicely. It's getting nice and creamy, and I can smell the lime juice. Fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'll be right back. So the next thing we're going to do is get our corn and our nectarines ready. And a lot of people, when they take corn off the cob, they like to come down on it like this. The problem is the corn ends up everywhere. So I'm going to actually lay it down and just cut the side just like that, nice and controlled. Gives me a nice flat, safe surface to work with. And I can just make my way around the whole cob just like this. It's nice and easy. Best of all, way less mess. Once we get to this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and scrape the cob with the back of my knife, and that's going to give me all of the juice and flavor out of the rest of this cob before we discard it. Right, just like that. Let's go ahead and clean up all of this corn. Excellent. And we can start on our nectarines. For the nectarines, these are stone fruit. So inside they've got a real hard pit. I'm going to try to avoid that by just cutting off the sides just like that. And the little bit that's left here, we don't want to waste any of that. Lots of good flavor. Same on this one, right down the sides. And then we can take these sort of nectarine cheeks and cut them into thirds. All right. And we'll get all of these into our bowl. And we've also got our scallops here. These are U15 scallops, which means that it's under 15 of them to make up a pound. And when you buy scallops in a lot of shellfish, you're going to find that that's how it's sold, is by weight. And so these are beautiful, they're huge. When you get them, often they're going to have a little foot, a little muscle on the side there. You want to make sure you peel that off because it can be a little bit tough. And we want these to be nice and tender. You also might want to give them a little bit of a rinse because scallops can be a little bit sandy. All right, so we've got our dressing, and I'm just going to put some on this beautiful fresh corn. And we've also got some lovely, fresh grape tomatoes that have been cut in half. I'm gonna go ahead, put some dressing on that as well. And then we're just gonna give these a stir and let all of these flavors start to come together with the corn and the tomatoes. And next, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take some of this olive oil, sprinkle it over our nectarines and our scallops, both sides, and then I'm gonna season with salt and pepper. Again, make sure both sides. All right, we're ready to start grilling. Now we've got our grill nice and hot, and we want to make sure it's real hot so that these scallops are able to sear. That's the sound we're looking for right there. We don't want to get them too close together or overfill our pan, because if we do, it's going to steam. We're not going to get the grill marks we're looking for. We'll go ahead and get these in, and we're probably going to do them in batches, because it's more important that we get nice space in between them so we can get that sear and that lovely flavor. We're going to let these go until there's a sort of white line will make its way up the side, about 2 minutes on each side. Once it gets opaque, about halfway up, and the sear releases itself, this part's important. If you try to pull it up too soon, it'll stick, you might tear your scallops. So let it release itself from the grill. At that point, we're going to go ahead and turn them over. All right, we're ready to flip. Oh yeah. All right, so we've got our nectarines and scallops cooked. It's about time to start building our salad. The first thing we're going to do is make a basil oil. So I'm going to add a little basil puree. I've got some water and olive oil. There we go. And we'll just stir this up, and then we can start building our salad. So we'll start by taking these beautiful grilled scallops, and we're going to arrange them right on this bed of arugula. There we go. We'll add our dressed corn, some of our tomatoes, salad dressing, and we want to get a fair amount on. That way we make sure that there's enough for all of these greens. The nectarines, and our basil oil. As a final garnish, we're going to add some basil chiffonade just around our plate here. And then finally, some prosciutto. And you can really just tear this right over the top. It's gonna add some salt, another texture. Really just a great way to finish this salad. Now all that's left is to taste it. Right. Oh, that really is good. That buttery scallop, sweetness, the corn, the fresh tomatoes, a little bit of acidity from that dressing, and little peppery notes from the arugula with that salty prosciutto. This really is fantastic. So there you have it. This year, when it comes time to make your fresh peach cobblers, remember to try fruit as a main ingredient outside of dessert too. You can use the link below to download this full recipe and check out our other Aprons Cooking School videos and subscribe for more great content from Publix. Thanks for watching.